Good evening, Nashville. This is James Grady live with Brandon Thomas, who is the Democratic candidate for State House District 49 in Rutherford County. Thanks for joining us, Brandon.
Thank you for having me.
So, Brandon, I want to give everybody a chance to learn a little bit about your campaign, your district, and what they can do to help you out. So, tell us a little bit about your background first. I know you most recently probably are known by a lot of people as working with the Tennessee Equality Project.
Yeah, so I worked with TEP as their preemption non-discrimination coordinator. And that's a lot of jargon to say. We were looking at ways on and working with other groups to determine how we can best stop preemption from the state. So, just as anybody else, that the state has stopped a lot of non-discrimination policies from being enacted at the local level. And so that was my role. And it's so funny running for State House now. You can just see how that has trickled down to everything. You talk about an increase in the minimum wage. You talk about low wage jobs. Stuff like that. Right. The state has stopped local governments from being able to make those calls, and so that's very disturbing.
And it's kind of funny that we're having this discussion while the party of local government is really behind most of this preemption. So,
yeah. But yeah, so people know me from there, most likely. I was born and raised here in Rutherford County. I went to Smyrna High School and graduated from MTSU with a political science degree. So I'm in my field, I'm using it. And I have a 2-year-old son, Ezra. And folks might also know that we were on the cover of Out and About a little while back. Yeah, with my husband, Michael, who carried Ezra. So so I think I'm pretty well known here.
Yes,
but
indeed.
Our campaign, we're fighting to create a family-friendly economy that works for everyone, no exceptions. And so that means expanding Medicaid. That means fighting for a workers' bill of rights. We see how important that is now during a pandemic. We see how important having healthcare is during a pandemic. We had somebody in our community recently, their son died because he didn't have health insurance. He was the youngest person in the state of Tennessee to die from COVID. And so and one of the reasons why he didn't go seek treatment once he got his test, because the test was free, right? One of the reasons he didn't go seek treatment was because he didn't have health insurance.
Right.
And so that's free money on the table. That's saving lives. It should be a no-brainer. And so that is really why I'm fighting so hard this time. I ran in 2016. I didn't have a kid. Just knowing that there are kids out here without health care. I spoke with a lady a few months ago who said her infant does not have health care. They keep getting denied TennCare. And are you kidding me? An infant without health care during a global pandemic in the state of Tennessee does not have health care in my district. That is unacceptable. So it's stories like those that that have me fighting a lot harder than I did in 2016.
Right. I know those issues were important to you already in 2016, but the current environment has definitely sort of brought to light how important those are on a practical level. So, definitely, do you have any plans for campaigning? I know it's a little early since there's not a Democratic challenger for you. So at what stage are you with your campaign right now?
Yeah, so we are still taking in volunteers. We're making phone calls to voters. And that's, how I got, heard about this story about this infant without health care. We would love folks to volunteer. Just go to votebrandonthomas.com and we have a volunteer page. Add your email. We'll get in contact with you. So we're contacting voters. That's the name of the game here. We have to get our name out there during a pandemic, right? And raise our awareness and let people know we're running. Because once people hear our message, they're on board. That's just a simple fact. I'm actually a little amazed that we haven't gotten any pushback at this point. This is a flippable district. The last Democrat that ran got 47.5% of the vote. So that was 1,050 votes, if I remember correctly. So this is going to be close. And turnout was about 64%. So
Right.
this was like presidential level turnout. We're going to have a presidential election in 4 months, so this is very doable. So but we really need every single person to pitch in. That's this time, like I said, we're fighting hard. You see the number of endorsements we've received. We've got endorsement from Run for Something, a recognition from Moms Demand Action. Today we got a really big one from
Yes.
Elizabeth Warren, which I'm really excited about. And so we have to build this coalition if we are going to be successful in flipping this seat. And so that's what we're doing, working hard doing, contacting folks as well.
Has your alumni network been of assistance with knocking on doors and calling people, or do you still have friends in the area?
Well, MTSU is kind of like a commuter school,
Oh,
so
true.
yeah. So unfortunately, no. I think because of this Warren endorsement, I have been seeing some old familiar faces pop up and be like, "Oh yeah, I know him." So that's been really cool. But yeah, unfortunately, like how MTSU kind of is, people go and
Right.
then leave. So yeah,
True.
yeah.
Yeah. So, in addition to sort of signing up to volunteer, people can assist you in other ways. I assume also donations and
Yeah, so yeah, we definitely need donations. We are working hard to fund our first mailer. We are a little bit halfway there. So we got to get, mail out. People in our 49 actually still read their mail. They still look at their mail. That's how we got so close in 2018. So it was because there was it was a large mail campaign. And so we need that. We need folks to help us make postcards as well. So if folks are interested in that, please sign up on the website. There are many different ways folks can get involved. If I haven't mentioned anything, I always recommend people still sign up. Tell us what you want to do. Because there may be something we haven't even thought about, and that has come up a time or two, and we're like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Why didn't we think about it? Thank you so much. Let's do it. So,
right.
yeah, so that's definitely just go to votebrandonthomas.com and sign up.
How, given the background of the pandemic, how are you navigating, traditionally events are sort of a key fundraising opportunity. How are you trying to plan around that or to navigate that issue, knowing that you don't really know how things are going to be?
Yeah, that's tough. We had our first house party in January. So we got one in, and we had got another one in, and then it was like, oh, this thing is really happening, and
Right.
so we stopped. So it's been a lot of call time. For me personally, just calling folks, hey, I need $5, I need $10.
Right.
It's just been a lot more call time, than usual. In 2016, it was funny because it was almost house party city. We had like a house party
Right.
almost every week. but
Yeah.
but yeah, so we just have to change the way how we receive money. And
Right.
then when we have, yesterday, Mike Sparks saying what he said about, he didn't know whether or not the Civil War was fought because of slavery. That helped us a lot. We literally raised over $2,000 in one day. So
Right.
there's things like that. Mike Sparks, please keep talking.
Yeah. They seem to be following in the footsteps of, the one who talks and everybody runs. So, yeah, let him keep talking, right?
Yeah. But
Um,
yeah, like we are actually planning a virtual event this month, and so we're working out getting that figured out, and then we're going to obviously release that publicly so folks that want to attend. But yeah, we have to do virtual house parties now. I don't
right.
think it's ethically sound to be having a lot of people together in one place, or even going to voters' houses to door knock. So yeah, we just have to be really creative on how
Right.
we do that. We are going to be texting as well. So that's another thing if folks are interested, not in phone calling, but texting as well, a little bit closer to the election. We're going to need help with that as well.
Okay. Sounds great. Well, as things go along, be sure to let us know so that we can share with our readers any events or, one of the great things about online events is that, people can attend much more easily than they could, a
Absolutely.
specific house party. So, good luck with everything and to keep us informed about how your race is going.
All right. Thank you so much for, giving me the time to speak.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good evening, Nashville, and we'll